श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ ऐं सरस्वत्यै नमः। श्री गुरु चरण कमलभ्यो नमः। नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नमः। वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबिके गौरी नारायणी नमस्तुते। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनायश्च नंदगोपकुमार गोविंदाय नमो नमः। गोविंदाय नमो नमः। श्री राधे गोपाल भज मन श्री राधे।
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 श्री राधे जय जय 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 राधे।
श्री राधे गोपाल भज मन श्री 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 राधे।
श्री राधे जय जय 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 राधे।
श्री राधे गोपाल भज मन श्री 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 राधे।
भज मन श्री राधे।
भज मन श्री राधे।
भज मन श्री राधे। भज मन श्री राधे।
Sitaram, Namaste, Assalamu alaikum, and good evening to each and every one of you joining with us this evening. We're very privileged and honored to have my dear brother, Pandit Ganeshwar Ramsahaji, with us this evening. And I'd like to thank him on behalf of the entire family for always supporting and for being there for us in happy and sad times. I would also like to welcome my dear Bhaviji and my Bhaiya. We have Arti Sukai Kilawan and my brother Vishal Kilawan, and also my brother Anil Shivnarayan as well. I got your name right. This evening, I must apologize for the absence of my father. He couldn't be here due to, as you've heard prior nights, his very good friend passed away, Terry, and he went to the viewing this evening. So you're stuck with me. Nevertheless, we'll move right along with the program. I will ask my Bhaviji RTG to do two bhajans for us, and after which we will take some more renditions from there. So over to you, Bhaviji.
विमुख शिखर से धारा ढाए राधा हरि सम्मुख लाए बांसुरिया हरि सांवरिया की राधा
Very, very beautifully done indeed. Very beautifully done indeed. We're very honored to have Nadi Babiji here with us this evening. Beautiful. And of course, my bhaiya as well. They don't care that I'm isn't it?
तुम ही हमका वो संभाले, तुम ही हमने रखवाले, तुम्हारे बिना हमारा कौन नहीं, तुम
Very beautifully done indeed. Very beautifully done. O Palanhare, Nirguna aur Nyare, Tumre bin Hamara aur nahi. O Lord of the destitute souls, O Lord of the fallen souls, without you, who else do we have in this world? Very appropriate and very beautifully done indeed. Thank you so much for that. I would like to start off this evening my first bhajan with a bhajan that my chacha used to sing a lot. It's a bhajan that was originally done by Sri Hariom Sharanji, and it was made popular by Sri Prakash Gosai. I believe today is also the birthday, the death anniversary of Sri Prakash Gosai. It's been 11 years since he has passed. I remember myself and my brother that sang a couple nights ago Ravi Mishra. We were two of the last musicians that played for him at a wedding he was officiating at here in New York at the Bhuvaneshwar Mandir in Ozone Park. And after the wedding that weekend, he left for Guyana, and that's where he fell ill. And the rest has been his history. I've never sung the song before, so please excuse any mistakes that I may make. It's also a very beautiful bhajan. It says, "O Lord, the world has offered flowers unto thee, but I have come to offer not flowers, but myself. O Master, now that I am standing at your door, I want to submit myself totally to thee." As you know, today was the death gatra of my dear late Chacha, and so I think this bhajan is very appropriate. Hey Sai Tihare Dware pe, Hey Sai Tihare Dware pe, मैं सभी लुटाने आया हूँ, दुनिया ने चढ़ाए फूल तुझे, मैं खुद को चढ़ाने आया हूँ, दुनिया ने चढ़ाए फूल तुझे, मैं खुद को चढ़ाने आया हूँ, ऐसा तिहारे द्वारे पे, ऐसा तिहारे द्वारे पे, मैं सभी लुटाने आया हूँ, यानी चढ़ाए चाहे तो ठुकरा दे मुझे, अपने द्वारे से हटा दे मुझे, तू चाहे तो ठुकरा दे मुझे, अपने द्वारे से हटा दे मुझे, साईं नाम की धूली में, साईं नाम की तेरी याद उसी में समाई है, माला सांसों की बनाई है, तेरी याद उसी में समाई है, वो जन्मों से सोई भक्ति को, जन्मों से सोई भक्ति को सयाजी जगाने आया हूँ। तेरा सुमिरन मेरी पूजा, चरण बदन करना दूजा, तेरा सुमिरन मेरी पूजा, चरण बदन करना दूजा, चरना प्रकाश हो, चरण धूलि प्रकाश हो, माथे से लगाने आया हूँ। झूठी जग की झूठी माया, साचा सुख तेरे दर पाया, झूठी जग की झूठी माया, साचा सुख तेरे दर पाया, हे साईं शरण लगा लो मुझे, हे साईं शरण लगा लो मुझे, चरणों में समाने आया हूँ, दुनिया में समाए फूल तुझे मैं खुद को चढ़ाने आया हूँ, है साईं तुम्हारे द्वारे पे, है साईं तुम्हारे द्वारे पे, मैं सभी लुटाने आया हूँ, दुनिया में चढ़ाए फूल तुझे मैं खुद को चढ़ाने आया हूँ, मैं खुद को चढ़ाने आया हूँ, मैं खुद को चढ़ाने आया हूँ। This next bhajan I want to sing is a bhajan by Anup Jalota. वो फूल न अब तक चुन पाया जो फूल चढ़ाने हैं तुझ पर। And this one says, वो फूल न अब तक चुन पाया जो फूल चढ़ाने हैं तुझ पर, मैं तेरा द्वार न ढूंढ सका सर, भटक रहा हूँ धगर धगर. Just like how when you pluck a flower from the tree and it's blowing from here to there, trying to get back to that tree. So too, O Lord, I have been astray from your door, and I am trying to get back to your door. वो फूल ना अब तक चुन पाया जो फूल चढ़ाने हैं तुझ पर मैं तेरा द्वार न ढूंढ सका साईं भटक रहा हूँ डगर डगर वो फूल ना अब तक चुन पाया जो फूल चढ़ाने हैं तुझ पर वो फूल ना अब तक चुन पाया जो फूल चढ़ाने हैं तुझ पर मैं तेरा द्वार ना ढूंढ सका मैं तेरा द्वार ना ढूंढ सका साईं भटक रहा हूँ डगर डगर वो फूल ना अब तक सुन पाया जो फूल चढ़ानी है तुझ पर मुझ में ही दोष रहा होगा मन तुझको अर्पण कर न सका मुझ में ही दोष रहा होगा मन तुझको अर्पण कर न सका तू मुझको देख रहा कब से मैं तेरा दर्शन कर न सका हर दिन हर पल चलता रहता संग्राम कहीं मन के भीतर मैं तेरा द्वार ना ढूंढ सका साईं भटक रहा हूँ डगर डगर वो फूल ना अब तक चुन पाया जो फूल चढ़ानी है तुझ पर क्या दुख क्या सुख सब भूल तेरी मैं उलझा हूँ इन बातों में बिन खोया चांदी सोने में सोया मैं बेसुध रातों में तब ध्यान किया मैंने तेरा हथराया जग से जग तक मैं तेरा द्वार ना ढूंढ सका मैं तेरा द्वार ना ढूंढ सका साईं भटक रहा हूँ वो फूल ना अब तक चुन पाया जो फूल चढ़ाते हैं तुझ पर मैं धूप छाँव के बीच कहीं माटी के तन को लिए फिरा उस जगह मुझे थामा तूने मैं भूली सी जिस जगह गिरा अब तू ही पत दिखला मुझको सदियों से हो गई से बेगर मैं तेरा बारवा ढूंढ सका मैं तेरा बारवा ढूंढ सका साई भटक रहा हूँ दर दर हो भूलता हूँ तक सुन पाया जो फूल चढ़ानी है तुझ पर वो फूल चढ़ानी है तुझ पर वो फूल चढ़ानी है तुझ पर Thank you very much, my brother Vishal, playing so beautifully for that bhajan. And now it gives me great pleasure to invite our dear Uncle Bob and Auntie Carmen to, I would like tonight for you guys to do one bhajan each for us, and then we will move on with the program from there. So over to you, Uncle Bob and Auntie Carmen.
Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guru Namah Tasmai Shri Guru Namah Namaskar Sitaram. I'm humbly pleased to join the satsang here with you on the passing of Bhai John or Surendra. I know I appear to be prepared here every time you see me, but unfortunately there has been lots of passing, so lots of wake, and we've been on this Zoom here since March, so I haven't disconnected my system. So I am here watching you, but through Dooley, I've met him when my father-in-law passed. He was there, and my wife told me much about the family. They were always the golden fleece, and they were very popular among the family. And they always present themselves to sing, whatever. But I owe what I do here to my godfather, Swami, the late, His Holiness Swami Purnanand Ji of Kowanjan, whom I owe much of my inspirations as I feel his guidance still. Tonight, I do a bhajan. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It says, Tor chalega jag se nata sada sada so jayega. There's a saying that live we may, die we must. That being said, we must be wise not to attach ourselves to the material wealth or the material world, including attachments to others or relations. Dhan daulat aur rishte naate sab phal mein chut jayega. Whatever we own now will be lost in a moment, and that day will come for sure. Jinko tu apna kehta hai, ye na tere apne hai. Those you call your own is not really your own because you are a traveler. in this life's path, and everything will be just a dream. टूटेगा जब सपना तेरा सब अपना खो जाएगा. And when this dream is over, all will be gone. All you own will be lost. It goes on to say, I'm trying to be precise here. जब से जग को अपना समझा, जब से रब को भूल गया. To understand your stay in this world, you cannot forget God. From time to time, you came in this world, you begin to move. From time to time, you came in this world, you begin to move closer to that fateful day. You remember the song, "This world is not my home, I'm just a passing through." So use your time wisely, lest you will regret. बचपन तेरा बीत गया और जाती तेरी जवानी है. Childhood and your youth would come and gone, and life passes like a free-flowing river. हाथ गुरु का थाम ले वरना बीच भंवर डूब जाएगा. And if you don't have the hand of a guru, you can get drowned or get lost. So रह जाएगा लक 84, जिसने गुरु को पाएगा. Your life is considered wealthy if you found a guru. Fortunate are those who have a guru to make their life successful. So don't forget to worship the feet of your guru. You know that Kabir Das, the Kabir Das bhajan that Anup Jalota ji has sung, Jab Chori, Chadariya Chadariya, says here, Jab mori chadar ban ghar aaye, rang reji ko dine, aisa rang rene, ki lal lal dine chadariya. Said this body, this chadar, is dyed or purified by the Guru. Who is the dyer? The Guru dyed the body red, which is lal, and it signifies confidence. So here is my bhajan I will sing. I hope you know some of it. It says, there is one thing certain in life. The day will come when we have to leave this world. दूर चलेगा जग दूर चलेगा जग से नाता सदा सदा सो जाएगा. एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा. धन दौलत और रिश्ते नाते सब पल में छूट जाएगा. एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा. जिनको तू अपना कहता है, ये ना तेरे अपने हैं. तू राही है जीवन पथ का, ये सब सारे सपने हैं. टूटेगा जब सपने तेरा, सपना अपना खो जाएगा. एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा. दूर चलेगा जग से नाता सदा सदा सो जाएगा. एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा. जब से जग को अपना समझा, जब से रब को भूल गया, जन्मों से तू आता रहा हर बार घर में भूल, बार घर में झूल गया। अभी वक्त है सुन ले बंदे, बाद में तुझको, बाद में तू पछताएगा। एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा। दूर चलेगा जग से नाता, सदा सदा सो जाएगा। एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा। बचपन तेरा बीत गया और जाती तेरी जवानी है। ये जीवन का, ये जीवन तो कल कल बहता एक नदिया का पानी है। बचपन तेरा बीत गया और जाती तेरी जवानी है। ये जीवन तो कल कल बहता एक नदिया का पानी है। हाथ गुरु का थामल वरना बीच भंवर डूब जाएगा। एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा। दूर चलेगा जग से नाता, सदा सदा सो जाएगा। एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा। रह जाएगा लक 84 जिसने गुरु को पाए हैं। बड़े भाग है गुरु संग जिसने जीवन सफल बनाया है। गुरु चरणों से प्रीति कर ली, अंत गुरु में समाए जा। एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा। दूर चलेगा जग से नाता, सदा सदा सो जाएगा। एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा। दूर चलेगा जग से नाता, सदा सदा छो जाएगा। एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा। धन दौलत और रिश्ते नाते सब पल में छूट जाएगा। एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, 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 एक दिन ऐसा आएगा। जय श्री राम। थैंक यू
very much, Uncle Bob, for singing for us so melodiously night after night. As I've said before, we really appreciate the support yourself and the entire family has been showing us night after night. I know we have Yanil on the tabla and Mira on the dental, and also Auntie Carmen, of course. Moving along this evening, I would like to ask of our dear Uncle Dave Narayan, all the way from the UK, to make a contribution this evening. Over to you, Uncle Dave Narayan.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. You're very low, but we can hear you. Okay, go ahead, Uncle Dave. We can hear you.
Uh, okay. Hi. Hi, all. Good morning. Um, yes, I was in the other wake just now that Madan went to, so sorry for joining late. I'm still trying to hook up here properly. Once again, we're here to pay respects and memorize our good friend John. I won't waste much time here tonight because it's getting a bit late for me. I have an early start in the morning. So I will go straight ahead in a song. This song is not strictly a bhajan as we know it. It is taken from a Hindi film, but I think some of the meaning is relevant. It goes to say when someone breaks your heart, when you're feeling a bit tormented, when the place is getting dark and your candle gets blown out in the wind, our lamp will be burning and it will be burning for you. And when I say you, it's the entire family. So don't get it out of context. Let's stick to the context and the circumstances we are in here to appreciate this song. If it goes a bit squeaky, like I've said, and out of tune, excuse me, it's early in the morning here. It's coming up to 1:30. Well, in fact, it's past 1:30. So here we go. Is the sound coming okay there, Yog?
Dave, we're hearing you very clearly, yes.
Thank you. कोई जब तुम्हारा हृदय तोड़ दे, तड़पता हुआ जब कोई चोर दे, कोई जब तुम्हारा हृदय तोड़ दे, तड़पता हुआ जब कोई चोर दे, तब तुम मेरे पास आना प्रिय, मेरा धर कुला है, कुला ही रहेगा तुम्हारे लिए, कोई जब तुम्हारा हृदय तोड़ दे, अभी तुमको मेरी जरूरत नहीं, बहुत चाहने वाले मिल जाएंगे, अभी रूप का एक सागर हो तुम, कंवल जितने चाहोगी खिल जाएंगे, दर्पण तुम्हें जब धराने लगे, जवानी भी दामन छुराने लगे, तब तुम मेरे पास आना प्रिय, मेरा सर झुका है, झुका ही रहेगा तुम्हारे लिए, कोई जब तुम्हारा हृदय तोड़ दे, तड़पता हुआ जब कोई चोर दे, कोई शर्ती होती नहीं प्यार में, मगर प्यार शर्तों पे तुमने किया, नजर में सितारे जो चमके जरा, बुझाने लगी आरती का दिया, जब अपनी नजर में ही गिरने लगो, अंधेरों में अपनी है गिरने लगो, तब तुम मेरे पास आना प्रिय। है दीपक जला है, जला ही रहेगा तुम्हारे लिए। कोई जब तुम्हारा हृदय तोड़ दे, तड़पता हुआ जब कोई छोड़ दे। Thank you.
Thank you very much, Uncle Dave. I think the more we hear you, the better you're getting.
Thank
So I'd
you.
like to implore you, tomorrow is the last night. So make sure you're on so you can sing for us again tomorrow night. We really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to call upon someone who's a very dear friend of mine and my entire family. And I really appreciate all my friends coming out and supporting us during these most trying times. She's no other than, I call her Auntie Rita Prasad. I would like to now turn it over to you to make your contribution. Over to you, Auntie Rita.
Sitaram to all pundits present, Bayog, RTG. I think I'm seeing you on camera for the first time here. My condolences again once more to the family. And please join me in this song. प्रभु जी सदा है कृपा हम पे बनाए रखना, प्रभु जी सदा है कृपा हम पे बनाए रखना। जो रास्ता सही हो, जो रास्ता सही हो, उस पे चलाए रखना, कृपा बनाए रखना, कृपा बनाए रखना। प्रभु जी सदा है कृपा हम पे बनाए रखना। हे दो जहाँ के मालिक, तेरे दर के हम सवारी, सब कुछ दया है लेकिन मर्यादा है संभाली। जो सिखाया ना बुलाना, हर हाल मुस्कुराना, आंसू छुपाए रखना, कृपा बनाए रखना, कृपा बनाए रखना। प्रभु जी सदा है कृपा हम पे बनाए रखना। ए दो जहाँ के मालिक, अब क्या गिला करूं मैं, सब एक बार मरते, क्यों रोज ही मरूं मैं, सह पाऊंगी मैं कैसे गम की चिता पे ऐसे, खुद को जलाए रखना, कृपा बनाए रखना, कृपा बनाए रखना। प्रभु जी सदा है कृपा हम पे बनाए रखना। ए दो जहाँ के मालिक, क्या बोल है हमारी, खत पे नहीं बता क्यों, किस्मत की रेल खाली, अब सारी दर्द ले ली, कोई दिन सुकून देवे, पल भर हंसाए रखना, कृपा बनाए रखना, कृपा बनाए रखना प्रभु जी सदा है कृपा हम पे बनाए रखना प्रभु जी सदा है कृपा हम पे बनाए रखना. Thank you and Jai Sitaram.
And there you have it. That was the very melodious Rita Prasad. Thank you so much for being with us. We really, really appreciate you singing for us this evening. I am told that we have my dear Bade Bhaiya Panasatish Deoji on with us this evening. As you know, he's the officiating priest for all the ceremonies, the last rites of my dear late Pastor John. Today was the dusk after. I was able to see a few minutes of it from work via the live feed that my dad did on Facebook. I would like to ask him to say a few words and chant a few prayers for us this evening. Over to you, Pandit Ji Satish.
ॐ हिरण्यगर्भा पुरुष व्यक्ताव्यक्तस्वरूपिणे अस्य प्रेतस्य मोक्षार्थ सुप्रीतो भव सर्वदा. हरि ओम. प्रिय भक्तजनों, it is my pleasure once again to be with my dear brother Bhai Yogi and the entire Jagdeo family, which, as I have repeated time and again, is like my own. And also I'm happy to also have the darshan of my other dear brother Paniji Ganesh Ram Sahai-ji. And we are privileged that he is on this evening and will be giving pravachan. I wouldn't make my contribution too long, but suffice it to say, as Bhai Yogi just mentioned, that the Dasgatra was performed this morning, conducted this morning, and we heard the significance of that last night. I would just like to touch very briefly on what will be happening not tomorrow, but the next day. And again, this is taken from Garuda Puran, and this is the chapter after the one which I read from yesterday. And the shlokas say, Hari Om Malinam Shodasham Chaita Prathamam Parikirtitam Anyacha Shodasham Madhye Dvitiyam Kathayamite. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. मैंने जो तुमसे ये षोडश प्रथम कहा ये मलिन है और भी दूसरा षोडश मध्य में तुमको कहता हूं. What these verses are essentially saying is that 16 pindas would have been offered by now, and those who have been those who are in attendance or who observed from afar will know that on the funeral 6 pindas were indeed given, and this morning 10 were given again. So that makes a set of 16. This is called Malin Shodashi. Malin, for want of a better word, means impure. It means that there's a state of uncleanliness associated with death. Now, this is a scientific fact. You know, we have to be very careful with hygiene when we are around such thing as a funeral. There is nothing to disprove that. So that is why these 416 are deemed to be, they're given this name Malin Shodashi. They're deemed to be unclean, as I said, for want of a better word. The period of Chut would come to an end completely on Wednesday, really and truly. So Lord Vishnu says after the first 16 are given, the next 16 have to be given again. And what is the purpose of giving the other 16? These will be offered on Wednesday morning, by the way. And this is the last shloka which I will read today. Prathamam Vishnave Dadya द्वितीयं श्री शिवाय च याम्याय परिवाराय तृतीयं पिंडमुत्सृजेत। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। पहला विष्णु के निमित्त, दूसरा श्री शिव के निमित्त और तीसरा पिंड दान परिवार समेत यम के लिए करे। Bhaktajano, as Bhagavad Gita says, and I just want to make a very quick reference here, that we must never indulge in anything, in any kind of ceremony, if it is not ordained by the Shastras. So therefore, everything that we do ceremonially must have a basis in this holy text, in the Garu Puran and in other holy texts as well. And we have to understand the reason why we are doing everything. So what it says here is that as Chacha John begins his journey, when he starts his journey, actually his journey will begin on Thursday. Although we will do the ceremony on Wednesday, we are preparing him in advance for the beginning of his journey, which commences on Thursday. As he goes on a long distance journey, just like all of us, imagine you're going on an expressway on a long distance journey. You will have to stop at specified rest stop. You cannot just stop on the middle of the highway just like that. You have to find a specific stop where they have fuel, where you can refuel your car, where you can find food to refuel your body, and so on. So in this long distance journey that Chacha John will be undertaking, he has 16 specific stops that he will stop at. And each of those stops is ruled by a different devata. The different devata is in charge of each stop. So those 16 pinda, it says the first one is given to Lord Vishnu. The first stop where Chacha John will reach after a fortnight is ruled by Lord Vishnu. The second one is ruled by Lord Shiva. The third one is ruled by Yam. The fourth one is ruled by Somaraj, the Lord of the Moon, and so on and so forth it goes. So those 16 pindas which we'll offer on Wednesday are for each and every one of those devatas. So we are essentially giving offerings to them in advance so that they'll be satisfied in advance, so that when Chacha John reaches them, they will already be satisfied and let him pass through without any hindrance. So that is the purpose of what we are doing on Wednesday morning. We are preparing Chacha John for this journey and paying off all of the guardians he will have to pass through. We are satisfying them in advance, so his journey will be easy as possible. We're doing everything we can to make his journey as easy as possible. A few other things will be done on Wednesday, but perhaps tomorrow night we can touch on those. So once again, I'm eternally grateful for the family for giving me this honor of being part of this, and my humble pranam to each and every one of you again. Ram Naam Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai, Yahi Sabka Ghat Hai. Dhanyavad.
Thank you very much, my dear brother Panisateshri, for explaining so beautifully to us night after night as to the procedures of the different rituals and ceremonies during these trying times. My humble pranam, Palagi, Sitaram, Namaskar to all the Pandits with us this evening, especially to our Kulguru, Panisatya and Sharma, for being here with us night after night. Moving along with the program this evening, I would now like to call upon Uncle Subhas. I would like to call upon Uncle Subhas and family to make their contribution.
Sitaram, everyone. मैया यशोदा तुझको पुकार, मैया यशोदा तुझको पुकारे कन्हैया कन्हैया यमुना किनारे कन्हैया कन्हैया यमुना किनारे मैया यशोदा तुझको पुकारे मैया यशोदा तुझको पुकारे वाले वाले बोले प्यारी हो रहा तुम्हें गली गली मैया यशोदा वाले वाले बोले प्यारी हो रहा तुम्हें गली गली मैया यशोदा
Thank you very much, Disati and the boys, for doing so well for us every night. We really appreciate the support. I would now like to invite to the microphone my dear brother, Pandit Ganeshwaranji. Um, those of you who knows the relationship will know that Ganesh is not a stranger to this family. He's been a brother of mine for many years now, and through extension, he's been a son of this family as well. So I have great pleasure in asking him to say a few words to us this evening. Over to you, Balaji.
प्रेम से वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। अच्युतम केशवम राम नारायणम कृष्णदामोदरं वासुदेवं हरिं श्रीधरं माधवं गोपिकावल्लभं जानकीनायकं रामचन्द्रं व्रजे। नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नमः। श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय। Again, devotees all, divine souls, my pranam, namaskar, jai sitaram to all of you. And it's a blessing for me to join again with the Jagdeo family and to spend these few moments in satsang as we commune together as one family, this time virtually. Again, virtual satsang as we celebrate the life, as we reflect on the life of our dear Chachaji, Chacha John, as he's known to all of us. I want to extend my heartfelt pranam and palagi to all our Lord Pandits that have been joining us here night after night, including tonight, my dear brother Pandit Satish Deoji, and of course Pandit Satyanand Sharma, who is joining us here as well, all the way from Florida. Tonight, like the other nights, we have discussed, we have talked about the process, all the necessary kriya, all the necessary acts that needs to be done when someone passes on. And tonight, we have listened to Pandit Satish Ji when he discussed what should take place after the Dasgatra. The Dasgatra was done this morning. Last night we learned of the importance of performing Dasgatra, the significance of this kriya, of this act. A few nights ago, Pandit Sat had enlightened us on the philosophy of the Atman, and this is Pandit Satyanand Sharma, that is, the philosophy of the Atman and exactly who we are. And tonight, we shall look at the reason why we're doing all of this. This process or phenomena that is called death, we all know. One day, each and every one of us, without a doubt, will have to face it. And during this period of living upon the surface of the earth, we question ourselves why we are here. Not only where we have come from and where we are going from here, but why are we here? And the human body, when we look at it very carefully, perhaps one of the few most popular chaupai of Ramchatramanas reminds us, Bade bhagya manush tan pava, sura dura lab sab granta nagava. And Tulsidas ji reminded us of the words of Bhagavan Sri Ram. Bade bhagya manush tan pava. It is a great fortune for us to have this human body. That is the literal meaning of this line. And when we look in a little bit more depth of these two words, manush and tan, human body, this word manush, manoha, we have, unlike the 8.4 million species that we have upon the surface of the earth, we have that capacity to think. We have that capacity to reason. We have the capacity to ponder and to be able to decipher what is dharma from what is adharma, what is righteousness from unrighteousness. So, having examined and learned about the Atman being housed in this human body gives us an opportunity to think, to decipher, so that we can elevate ourselves. And amongst the four goals that we have in this world that we live in, dharma, artha, kam, and moksha, the final goal, moksha, reminds us of our ultimate goal, and that is to attain what we call liberation, or when the Atman merges with Paramatma. And we can only do this when we live a certain way, when we carry out our life a certain way. One poet beautifully reminds us, Jagat mein jeevan hai dinachar. Jagat mein, in this world, jeevan hai dinachar. Life is very short. This is for literally 4 days. So what do we do in this short time that is called life? What do we do in this short period of time, whether it's 1 year that we live, a couple of months, 50 years, 60 years, or the ultimate goal, 100 years? What do we do during this time? The poet goes on to say, Sukrit kar harinam sumarali. And the instructions are very simple. Two things we instructed. Firstly, Sukrita kar simply means to do good. Sukrita kar harinam sumarali, and sing the praises of God. Sing the praises of Bhagwan. Now, when we speak of Sukrita kar, to do good, and harinam sumarali, it may sound very simple. But doing good is one thing. Doing good wholeheartedly is another thing. Doing something that is positive, that will enhance the life of others without not looking back at the benefits of it, that's something different. So when we ponder on life and why we are here and the remaining time that we have upon the surface of the earth, let us focus on these two things. As I said, much was said of our Shastras. But tonight I want to urge us all to use this example, if I may. Use the life of Uncle John to reflect as a reflection of our life. One day we will have to face this. It may be tomorrow. It may be 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. Let us prepare ourselves by Sukritakar, doing good, Harinam Sumadali, and sing the praises of God. Because at the end of life, what matters the most? What is it matters the most? You know, we live in a world today where we have taller buildings and wider highways, but we have shorter temperaments and narrower points of views. We live in a world today where we have bigger houses, but smaller families. And most of all, as we are experiencing it as we speak, we have more medicine, but less health. We have more food, but less nutrition. So when we look at all of this, what is the purpose exactly of our life? Is simple. The ultimate goal is very simple. When the Atman merges with Paramatma, in order for us to get there, then Sukritakar, do good, Harinam Sumadali, sing the praises of God. Charak Niti reminds us, Chala Lakshmi, Chala Prana, Chala Jiva Ka Mandali, Chala Chale Tu Samsare Eko Dharma Nishchay Chala. One day, everything we will have to leave and go, or everything will leave us and go. But the only thing that will stick by our side is our dharma. Dharma does not only mean quote unquote religion. Dharma also translates to mean our way of life, how we live our life. How we live our life, how we project ourselves to others, how we commune with others, what imprints we have left on the hearts of others when we would have exited the world. Eko dharma nishchay chala. That is the only dharma. That is the only thing that will go with us, our dharma. So tonight, divine souls, as we reflect on the life of Uncle John, as we have learned so much of the Atman, the nature of the Atman, and of our body, and what ought to be done after the soul exits the body, and Teshti Kriya, the Dasgat, the Madhyam Sorashi, and so on and so forth. Let us also focus on life, on living life. And remember, if at all anything from my 5 minutes or so presentation, two things. Sukritakar, do good, Harinam Sumarle, and sing the praises of Bhagavanji. To the Jagdeo family, our continuous prayers and thoughts with you all during this tough time. I know it is extremely difficult. I know it's a time where we want to be with each other. We want to huddle. We want to share that experience of loss and of grief. We can't do so physically, but let us continue to pray. Let us continue to have faith in Bhagavanji, and this will take us through the Bhavasagar. May the blessings of Bhagavan Shri Krishna be with all of us. Prem Saro Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki jai.
Thank you very much, my dear brother Ganesh for speaking so very beautifully to us all this evening. Um, I can't keep on repeating myself enough to let you know how much we appreciate you lending your support to the entire family at this time, especially for being with us here this evening. It means a lot. As you know, being here physically lends even more support than being there virtually. And also to my brother Panasatesh Deoji last night, and I know our Kulguru Panasatyanan Sharma would have loved to be here with us if he could have. But nevertheless, um, um, he's here with us virtually, and that means a lot to us as well. I would now like to call upon my sister Vani to sing for us a bhajan. She is the niece of Auntie Kumari and Chacha John, and she's a very beautiful singer. And I'd like to ask her to make her contribution now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly, Vani.
Okay. Sitaram, everyone. Tonight, as we pay tribute to my late Uncle John, I want to remind all of us that one day we will leave everything and go, for life has no guarantee. But there is one thing that we will left behind, and that is the good and the bad things that we have done in this life. It is upon us to decide which one we want to leave. My Uncle John was a role model singer to me, and so I would like to dedicate this song to him. Jab Jab Bahar Aaye. Whenever the spring arrives, or the pool muskuraye, with the smiles of flowers, mujhe tum yaad aaye, you appeared in my mind. Jab Jab Bahar Aaye, और फूल मुस्कुराए मुझे तुम याद आए मुझे तुम याद आए जब जब भी चांद निकला और तार जगमगाए मुझे तुम याद आए मुझे तुम याद आए अपना कोई तराना मैंने नहीं बनाया पर एक सुर सजाया हो। जब जब मेरे तराने दुनिया ने गुनगुनाया, मुझ तुम यार आए, मुझ तुम यार आए। एक प्यार और वफा की तस्वीर मानता हूँ, एक प्यार और वफा की तस्वीर मानता हूँ। तस्वीर के तुम्हें मैं तकदीर मानता हूँ। हो देखी नजर ने खुशियाँ, यारे कदम के साए, मुझ तुम यार आए, मुझ तुम यार आए। मुमकिन है जिंदगानी कर जाए बेवफाई, मुमकिन है जिंदगानी कर जाए बेवफाई। लेकिन ये प्यार वो है जिसमें नहीं जुदाई। हो किस प्यार के फसाने जब जब जुबां पे आए, मुझ तुम यार आए, मुझ तुम यार आए। जब जब बाहर आए और फूल मुस्कुराए, मुझ तुम यार आए, मुझ तुम यार आए, मुझ तुम यार आए। Thank you.
Thank you very much for singing so beautifully for us again this evening, Vani. That is a song that was requested by Uncle Robert, and we didn't get around to doing it, but I'm happy you were able to sing that for our dear late Chacha John. As we all know, that was also one of his favorite songs too. So thank you very much for doing it so beautifully for us this evening. I would now like to call upon our cool guru, Pandit Satyanan Sharma, to probably share another memory of Chacha John like he did last night. It was really wonderful to reminisce on the good times, the HYO days and the vibrant number 73 Monday days. I know my brother Panaganesh came to 73 Monday a few times in those times as well. So, Satyanada, if you will, I would like to request for you to share another memory this evening as well. Over to you.
Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Reverend Brother Madan Bhai, siblings of Johnny and Dharmapatni, Auntie Kumari, children, grandchildren. We continue to pray and ask Bhagavan to bless all of you. As life continues and you have to figure out how to fill that, maybe feel is not the right word, but how to live with that void. Johnny was so much more than just a human being. He had so many different aspects of him. He fills a gap real quickly of anyone that's absent there. And I gave Yogi this joke about 2 weeks ago. I think as soon as Johnny passed away, see, that's the influence he has on the minds of people who knew him. That when you think of him, even though he just died, we can only think of the funny things he did. And the day after, I was talking to Yoga and I told him that I was riding a bicycle I was living away from home, and I came home for the weekend and riding towards the other side of the village, towards 74 village there, and in front of Uncle Deo there. Younger people may not know Uncle Deo, but this is Uncle Ram and Uncle Deo. In front of their house there, this is Kapil and the tree. There's a trailer there, and usually the boys would hang out there in the evening, you know, and chat a little bit. So Johnny was there. You know, he lived right nearby, and saw me passing my bicycle, and because I'm not in the village, so come, get after, man. So I sat on my bicycle, put my, one foot on the ground, and I'm listening to somebody saying something, and all of a sudden, Johnny's listening also with me. Someone else was speaking, and all of a sudden, Johnny started laughing like rambunctiously, like the way he usually does. And I said in front of Uncle Deo's house, because I want to paint a picture here. And the picture is that Johnny started laughing, and he was having such a great time that when he laughs, he starts running. And he started running, and he went, to the southern side, like by Uncle Keo and Uncle Jeff house and everything. That's a few hundred yards already. And, he ran over there, and then he came back. He's looking at me, and I had no clue why he's laughing. He looked at me for like about 2 seconds, and then started to laugh all over again. The same intensity. And then he's running towards like Uncle Gotarat, that side, all the way over there. It's another 2-3 houses. And he came back, and then he laughed for a while. By the trailer standing, he's looking at me, and I'm like, am I supposed to know why you're laughing here? But when Johnny laughs, everybody starts laughing. So I'm laughing too, and I had no clue that the joke was on me. So after about 5 minutes, I said, what's going on? So he's telling the other boys now. He's not addressing me, but he said, you hear the man there? You hear the man there? So everybody's wondering what he's talking about. Only to realize that while the conversation was going, the monologue was going on from the other person, in approval, when somebody's speaking, you say, eh, or yeah, man, or something. And I don't know what came into my head. I was telling you, okay, I think because I was living away from home, and then you catching on some other pieces of lingo from other places you live. And Johnny explained to me afterwards that the reason for which he said, you hear the man there, is because I said, okay. That's just that word, one word I said. But for Johnny, that was an extremely funny thing, because on the quarantine, we don't say okay, like somebody saying like, okay. We don't do that. We say, hey, or yeah, man, or yeah, things like that. And for me, that was this, the funniest thing. I mean, Johnny laughs for anything, but nobody would imagine that's such a big joke. He laughed for about 5 minutes, and he came back, and then he explained to everybody it was a kata, that he laughed so much because I said, okay. Now, I know that's not a joke for anybody else, but I remember that joke all the time. I picture Johnny running. This is 100% true. Doing like a short distance race, going that way and coming back. And he laughed his belly full, and then I got to understand only because I said, okay. So maybe tomorrow night I'll think of a joke that everybody can understand more, but that's certainly a joke for me. So this time I'd like to, do a short prayer and ask Bhagwan to bless the rest of the family. I also want to commend my nephew, Panagan. I didn't hear this young fella for a long time now, I think since I left New York. And while he hasn't grown in length, I've seen, he certainly has grown in his ability to present the scripture and done so in a very lucid manner. I have to tell you again that not only was I very satisfied and happy with the presentation, I'll steal some of the lines you used there. They were very good. So keep it up, young man. Pandit Sateshji, pranam to you as well, all the Pandits. Let's ask Bhagwan for his darshan. चलती चक्की देख कर दिया कबीरा रोय, दुई पातन के बीच में साबुत बचा न कोय, बासांसि जीर्णान यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णान् अन्यासि सयाति नवानि देहि, न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित्, नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः, अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो, न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे, पितामहस्य जगतो माता दाता पितामह, वेदयं पवित्रम् ओंकार ऋक्साम यजुरेव च। हरि ओम शांति शांति शांति। Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Thanks you.
Thank you very much, Satyanada, for sharing a wonderful memory about Chachajan. I'm sure everyone that knows Chachajan will understand the joke that you said, because I can picture how, the laughter normally engulfs him. His entire being is erupted with laughter when he laughs, and that was just the person he was. And yes, he found humor in the littlest of things, as you said. I just want to make mention, I know a lot of family members are joining us from night after night, but I just want to make mention of a couple of people that I noticed have been with us every single night thus far, and that is my Chacha Georgie from Minnesota, Uncle Popsy Ramdat, Uncle Cap, my dad's cousin, my sister Sabrina and Vanita, Auntie Bhanu also from Florida, and of course Uncle Dharma, I see is with us here this evening as well. So thank you guys for joining us, and thank all of you viewers for being with us here night after night. Satyanara, this was not my idea, but God is forcing me to sing this bhajan after hearing you sing that dua. I know this is one of your favorite bhajans, and I hope I don't make any mistakes in it. I'll just sing a verse or two. After which, my brother Kevin Beer is on with us here this evening. Welcome, Kev, for a long time. And we will hear from him right after this. चलती चक्की देख के दिया कबीरा रोए, दो पातन के बीच में साबुत बचा न कोई, दो दिन का जग में मेला सब चला चले का खेला, दो दिन का जग में मेला सब चला चले का खेला, का जग में मेला सब चला सभी का खेला कोई चला गया कोई जावे कोई घटरी मान सिलावे कोई चला गया कोई जावे कोई घटरी मान सिलावे कोई खड़ा है यार अकेला रे कोई खड़ा है यार अकेला चला चली का खेला रे खेला रे खेला रे दो दिन का जग में मिला सब चला चली का खेला ये तो है नशे संसारा भजन तू कर ले ईश का प्यारा ये तो है नश्वर संसारा भजन तू कर ले ईश का प्यारा ब्रह्मानंद कहे सुन खेला रे हो ब्रह्मानंद कहे सुन खेला चला कभी का खेला रे खेला रे खेला रे दो दिन का जग में मेला सब चला कभी का खेला दो दिन का जग में मेला सब चला चली का खेला ओ दो दिन का जग में मेला सब चला चली का खेला These bhajans bring back a lot of memories from our childhood days. And I am very honored to have my two brothers here, Vishal and Gan, to accompany me. And of course, with your approval, Satyanada, I made an attempt. Now over to my dear brother Kevin to make a contribution this evening. Kev, it means a lot to myself and the entire Jagdeo family to have you here with us this evening. Over to you.
You can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Ram Ram.
Very
Hey, I wish I could have made many more nights due to my job. I couldn't have. But man, I just feel as if like I'm there, but I'm not there. I'm over here. I'm over here. Um, wow. I try to keep it together until Pandit Sat made the joke about Pandit Gan's height. And you know, I love you guys very dearly, and it made me laugh a little bit. But if I can give a little message before I sing the song, I can say I do miss your company, and you know that will happen going forward. But besides that, um, to you, Yog, brother Yog, and the entire family, Uncle Martin as well. You know, I my condolences first off, but you know, experiencing a loss of someone that's very important, a sibling, someone that um, that meant a lot to you. I have experience too. Maybe you know everybody's feelings is different, but you know it's a tough thing to deal with. And what I can tell you and reassure you, one of the great things that you can do in a time like this is, you know, just glance upon the memories. Just remember the great moments, the great things you've had. That will just pretty much help you in this, in a sense, besides the great chanting and everything like that. I can definitely personally share you those moments are something to not be forgotten. I'm thinking of what song to sing, and there was one song that I've always sung with you, and I wish I could have sung with you could have been there with me. Maybe it will happen again a day, but there is one song that I know. um, I've sung with you. We've been many places, yo. And there's one song that I know I sung with you when I first started singing with you. I'll sing that song tonight, right? Thanks for having me. ओ शाम प्राण प्यारे, ओ शाम प्राण प्यारे, मुखरा जरा दिखाना, मुखरा जरा दिखाना, मुखरा जरा दिखाना, मुखरा जरा दिखाना, गोकुल के चांद तारे, गोकुल ओ के चांद तारे, बदली में छिप न जाना, बदली में छिप न जाना, मुकरा हो जरा दिखाना, मुकरा जरा दिखाना. तुम बिन वो नैन तारे, जीवन में है अंधेरा, तुम बिन वो नैन तारे, जीवन में है अंधेरा, तेरी रूप कई चला है, उजरा है मन अंधेरा, तेरे बिना वो श्यामा, तेरे बिना वो श्यामा, मेरा कहाँ ठिकाना, मेरा कहाँ ठिकाना, मेरा हो जरा दिखाना, ओ शाम कान प्यारे. आजा तेरी जुदाई मुझसे सही न जाए, ऐसा ऐसा आजा तेरी जुदाई मुझसे कहीं न जाई, जो दिल पे बीत दे है मुझसे कहीं न जाई, तन प्राण छोड़ देंगे तन प्राण छोड़ देंगे जो तुम ना खाना जो तुम ना खाना तेरा जरा दिखाना मुकरा वो जरा दिखा वो शाम प्राण प्यारे वो शाम प्राण प्यारे मुकरा जरा दिखाना मुकरा जरा दिखाना मुकरा ओ जरा दिखाना मुकरा जरा दिखाना मुकरा जरा दिखाना. Thanks for letting me do my contribution. I'll meet you again, Yog.
Thank you very much, my brother Tuxi. You call him Tuxi, but his name is Kevin Beard, of course. You brought a big smile to my face after hearing you sing this evening, bro. It's been too long, and I miss you terribly. And I can't wait for the day that we reunite in satsang, of course. Um, I know you know what I'm going through because you were also close to your Chachanar, as I was as well. And I'm so happy that Bhagwan made it possible that you can be here with us virtually in my time of need as well. God bless you, bro. If you can, please join us again tomorrow evening. We would love to have you. And thank you again for singing so beautifully. Without much further ado, I would like to call upon my Puatara to make her contribution this evening. And I would like to put my Pupa, Uncle Vishnu, Uncle Brav, on notice that tomorrow evening I want him to say a few words, as I would like all of my dad's siblings to um, make a contribution tomorrow evening, being that it's the last night before the Shroud. As they did the night before the funeral, I am personally requesting that they all make a contribution tomorrow evening, since they are also very talented. Over to you now, Porter.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Porter, we can hear you now.
Okay. Very good evening to everyone. Good night. Thanks again for everyone who have joined us night after night and to be with us at this time where we are indeed it's very sorrowing for us. Today has been a very emotional, hard day after the Pandit took so much time to explain everything that he was doing and the connection to the soul. Um, I was very enlightened by it, and I appreciate everything that was done, and I could feel my brother's presence. And so I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for being with us, Pandit Ganesh, and to that old Pandit in Florida, Pandit Sat. I said that young man Ganesh, like he is so old. Oh my God! Night after night, he makes me laugh, which is a very good thing to throw in a little bit of humor. Tonight, I want to do an English song, which is a tribute to fathers. And if you have your father, cherish him, for you never know the use until you see the vacant chair. A father is an advocate, and today I felt it for Kenny. The song goes something like this. I changed up a few words, of course. From Guyana to New York City, bravely fighting the battle of time, is a dear one whose weather lies sorrows, is is that silver haired daddy of mine. If I could recall all the heartaches, dear old daddy, I've caused you to bear. If I could erase those lines from your face and bring back the black to your hair, if God would but grant me the power just to turn back the pages of time, I'd give all I own if I could but atone to that dear old daddy of mine. I know it's too late, dear old daddy, to repay for those sorrows and cares. To my dear mother who is waiting just yonder to comfort and wipe away your tears. If I could recall all the heartaches, dear old daddy, I've caused you to bear. If I could erase those lines from your face and bring back the black to your hair, if God would but grant me the power just to turn back the pages of time, I'd give all I own if I could but atone to that silver haired daddy of mine. I'd give all I own if I could but atone to that silver haired daddy of mine. Please, those who have your father, cherish him. And to all my siblings, to whom my brother has been like a father to, they should remember and cherish him also. Thank you, and I love you. And Kenny, I felt for you today. I love you all. Thank you, Yogi. Thanks again to everyone.
Thank you very much, Potar, for singing so melodiously for us once again. That is a beautiful thing about our family, that the talent that we have is so amazing that we can cross over genres like it's nothing. And you have proven that this evening. So we thank you for that. And for singing for my brothers, Ryan and Kenny. Um, I know Kenny is bearing the brunt of it, being the one that's here right now, going through all of these different rites and rituals for our dear late Tata John. Um, and I can't imagine what both of them are going through. So our prayers, our thoughts, and we would like to send strength and courage to them to keep it going on. We're lucky to have my dad with us here this evening. He was able to make it back in time, and I would like to ask of him to make his contribution this evening.
बोलिए वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। Sitaram, Namaste, Assalamu alaikum. Good evening. It's quite late in the evening, I know. I apologize for not being able to be here earlier, but as you can see how I'm dressed, I'm coming from a viewing for the dear friend that I was telling you about the last 2 nights. And I was able to reconnect with some of our sorrowing classmates. You know, life is like that. We meet, we play, we fight, and then one by one, we say good night and we go to sleep. So a few has already gone to sleep, and that's how life is. It was very touching, but I'm happy that I was back in time to be able to make a contribution here this evening. I want to thank, as usual, all of you who have contributed night after night to the celebration of the life of our dear brother and to reminisce over his exceptional life that he had lived. And so the song that I'm going to sing, I just want to just quickly repeat the words of the last verse. It says, "Ik pal hai hasna, ik pal hai rona." In one moment we laugh, in another moment we are crying. Kaisa hai jeevan ka khela? How is it so? What is this game of life? As the song says, "Koi roe, koi gaye," while some are laughing, some are crying. And it says, "Ik pal hai milna." In one moment you are greeting and you're meeting, "Ik pal bicharna." The next moment you are saying goodbyes. You're parting. It may seem like a long time, but in the eyes of God, our lives are indeed just a pal, just a moment. So I'd like to do this song in tribute to my fallen brother and also to my fallen friend, Terry Charan. Lord, take care. Lord, take care. Lord, take care. Ah, Lord, take care. मेरा सुना परारे संगी, मेरा सुना परारे संगी, तुझे मेरे गीत सुनाते हैं। आलो मेरा मेरे गीत, तुझे मेरे गीत सुनाते बरसे गगन मेरे बरसम नयन देखो बरसे गगन अब तो आना बरसे गगन मेरे बरसे नयन देखो बरसे गगन अब तो आना शीतल पवन के लगाए अगर अब तो मुस्कुरा भी आना तूने पले निभाए तूने पले निभाए तुझे मेरे प्रिय बुलाते हैं आलो के आजा मेरे मीत तुझे मेरे प्रिय बुलाते हैं एक पल है हंसना एक पल है रोना कैसा है जीवन का खेला एक पल है हंसना
you very much for singing so very beautifully for us this evening. Join us as we sing our customary bhajan, Jai Krishna Hare. जब चारों तरफ अंधेरा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो,
जब चारों तरफ अंधेरा है, आशा का दूर किनारा हो,
और कोई न केवल हारा हो,
और कोई न केवल हारा हो,
फिर तो ही बेड़ा पार करो,
प्रभु तू ही मेरा पार करो। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे,
जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों
को दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे।
तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे,
तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, जिसको भी अमृत कर दे।
पूरन कर दे उनकी आशा, जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे, तेरे दर्शन को मैं तरस रहा, तेरे नाम की माला जपत रहा, तेरे दर्शन को मैं तरस रहा, तेरे नाम की माला जपत रहा, भव सागर से मेरी नैया, हो भव सागर से मेरी नैया, कैसे मैं भव पार करूं, कैसे मैं भव पार करूं। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों को Let us all join in closing prayers. नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि नयनं दहति पावका न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापो न शोषयति मारुतः त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धु च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव मन्त्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तहीनं जनार्दनं यत् पूजितं मया देव परिपूर्णं तरस्तु मे। ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम। प्रेम से बोलो श्री कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय। Once again, thank you all for joining us night after night as we celebrate the life of my dear late Chacha John. On behalf of my dear Chachi Kumari and my brothers Ryan and Kenny and the entire Jagdeo family, we cannot express our gratitude. I would like to ask of you all to share the word around. Tomorrow night will be our last night via this virtual wake, and we'd like to ask you all to join us for one last night as we give tribute and we celebrate the life, of our dear late Chacha John. Thank you very much. Sitaram, namaste. Good evening.